rise,
For your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
I belong.
Performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course.
The defense policy of the United States is based on a simple premise. The United States does not start fights. We will never be an aggressor.
As for the peace that we would preserve, I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I must protect and preserve freedom here, or it will not be passed on to our children, and it will disappear everywhere in the world.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. Regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
We, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
This administration in Washington has betrayed the working men and women of this country.
I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when President of the United States loses his.
Someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. The martyrs of history were not fools. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the machine. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Matt.
And we're back. We're back again. You just can't get rid of us. I mean, you know. I figured after this much I could say that a couple of times because I got the F3 tornado tried taking off with me. But we're here. We're kicking ass as usual. Of course, it's after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a present for myself, I guess. We'll talk about that here later, though, because I think it's going to go right into a break. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But well, not a whole lot really has gone on, but there are a few things we obviously would have to address. Well, where'd it go? Well, we got that, but where'd the other one go? Oh, for crying out! We're already kicking ass. Okay,
which one is it you're looking for?
Well, it wasn't one of these, but we'll go with this. Apparently, Iran has been holding talks with Afghanistan Taliban amid U.S. peace process. In other words, they are probably feeding them more weapons and telling them don't stop. Mm-hmm. Because Iran is a very shitty nation. But Afghan President Ashraf Ghani said Thursday that, I'm assuming last Thursday or this Thursday. No, this is Thursday because there's a date. Make sure I got the story right, motherfucker. Said that he had received the Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, Ali Shamkhani, in his office shortly after reports verified that Iranian government officials have been in touch with the Taliban amid peace talks with the U.S. Seriously, something sounds ominous about that already. Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Iran is reaching out to the Taliban. I mean, they're already funding the fucking Pakistanis. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you can't see what I'm seeing, really, can you?
No.
Well, I guess I'll read right into it, and you just react this time. How's that? Does that work for you?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we could do that?
Yeah.
You sure? It's
Unless
okay?
I find it.
We'll find it. All right, we'll just give Matt a second to let him find it. It is on that one.
Okay.
So we'll just give Matt a second. So, hey, how's everybody doing? Polar bear. Okay, yeah, polar bear. All right, cool. Somebody said polar bear in the chat. I'm not sure what that means.
All righty then.
We'll go with that. Did you find it?
Not yet.
Well, we'll just take your time. There's nobody waiting.
No, my phone's being stupid.
Yeah, well, so was the
It's
computer.
about to meet the wall.
So was the computer earlier, though. Only this one's not mine, so I can't meet the wall with the computer.
Well, I think that one had an excuse, though. We've had some high winds.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the winds. The winds were bad. I had a really bad day with that. Anyhow, the Pentagon has accused the Iranian regime of cooperating with the Taliban in the past. Obviously, we already kind of linked those two together a long time ago. Despite that Tehran being governed by a Shiite theocracy and the Taliban being a Sunni Muslim terrorist group, okay, I know they're supposed to be different, and I get that, but it's Iran. Iran also manages to boast very significant ties with Afghanistan and has welcomed an estimated thousands of Afghan refugees. Yeehaw for them. Many of whom find themselves on battlefields in Syria defending dictator Bashir al-Assad. Yeah, that's not good either. A consistent wave of Afghan migrants into Iran helps the country maintain military operations in other places it has helped to destabilize, such as Iraq and Yemen. Yeah, we were kind of obvious on that, which is, once again, why we're referring to them as shitbags. Did you find it, Matt?
Yes.
Okay, well, you can carry on.
Well, apparently the Trump administration is currently embroiled in a series of discussions with the Taliban to discuss a potential resolution to the 17-year-old war that would disarm but legitimize the Taliban as a political party.
Would we really, really fucking want to do that?
I don't think so. I think that would be a huge mistake.
Why in the hell would you want the Taliban to be a political party?
I don't know. I think that's like asking them to evolve into ISIS 2.0.
Yeah, because now they're going to have political money on top of other money.
Right.
Lovely. As you were, carry on.
Let's see. Taliban have refused to cooperate with Ghani.
Yeah.
And they've refused to cooperate with deeming him an illegitimate ruler of the country. They discuss a joint fight against terrorism with Shamkhani, who spoke on behalf of the Iranian government.
Yeah, see, that's enough right there to let me know this is a really, really bad thing going on.
According to the ARG Palace, the two side
I believe it's supposed to be held.
held talks, regarding further expansion of bilateral ties between the Kabul and Tehran. Tehran, importance of regional consensus. Afghani led and owned a peace process and joint fight against terrorism.
That's not confusing.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. That doesn't make any sense. That's not. I don't know why we would want. I mean, I keep going back to why on earth would we ever want Iran as Iran with the Afghanis as peace talks.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, once again, citing the Pakistan, because they're really, really, really good at hiding weapons in schoolhouses and shit like that, knowing that the Israelis will not fire on those places.
Right.
They've been linked to the Taliban and other terrorist entities throughout the years, through Iraq as well, and of course, we were in a fight with them, so yeah. Yeah, Sean, I get that. He says the big picture, having peace in the Middle East, has Iran in a box. Because Iran is the only one that state sponsor of terror.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you're saying with that. And I mean, that's pretty much how we're trying to put it. But what else have we got on that, Matt?
Let's see. Let me scroll back up here.
Let's see. Well, Reuters apparently chimed in on this one, too. Reuters notes that the Taliban and the Iranian government have reportedly long held ties. No shit. In recent months, Afghan officials have accused Tehran, which the United States says is trying to extend its influence in western Afghanistan, of providing the Taliban with money, weapons, and explosives. Iran obviously denies that, but we have found direct links to it.
Mm-hmm.
Our own special forces, let's say they've found quite a few things, up to and including close to the border, those places like that. And of course, when we take over weapons caches and stuff like that, there has been Iranian weapons constantly found. So we're no shit. Yep, I clicked off it. Son of a. All right, you got something on that?
Well, I know the Pentagon in late 2017 accused the Iranian regime of providing direct assistance to the Taliban.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Which Iran provides some support to the Taliban and publicly justifies its relationship with the Taliban as a means to combat the spread of ISIS in Afghanistan. Iran's support to the Taliban undermines the Afghan government's credibility, adds to instability in the region, and complicates strategic partnership agreements.
So what are they trying to say? The enemy of my enemy is my friend?
I think so. I think that's what it's boiling down to.
So they don't. So let's get this straight. Iran says that they don't like ISIS, but they love the Taliban. There's no real difference between the two. One of them just a different name from the other.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, a lot of Taliban fighters joined ISIS.
Right. It was kind of almost like a lot of Taliban evolved into the ISIS regime.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get what they're thinking here. Well, we do get what they're thinking here, but we're going to pretend that we don't. But the Iranian regime has publicly insisted that the United States created and continues to fund the Islamic State. And how do we do that? Of course, constantly they've done this, but following the Tehran attack, the Iranian parliament erupted in a chant of death to America in response to the ISIS killings.
Right.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, these are the people that chant death to America when anything happens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, anything fucking happens at all, it doesn't matter what it is. Death to America.
Yep. America gets blamed for it.
Yeah. Iran's involvement in Syria has largely been in defense of the Assad regime, which, by the way, is also a tyrannical regime. But we're not going to get into that because, well, that's a long list of bullshit that we've already went through before with Syria.
Mm-hmm.
But they've largely been involved in the defense of the Assad regime against the Sunni groups like the Free Syrian Army, which is obviously, well, there's three letters, FSA, some of which have ties to the Sunni jihadist groups. Tehran insists that it has also fought the Islamic State in the area. However, Afghan refugees, what the hell? Man, this jumped real hard. All right, let's reverse that. Reverse course. Strike that from your memory. Afghan refugees to prevent loss of Iranian life on the battlefield.
Basically, we're using Afghan refugees as meat shields.
So they were South Parking it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're saying. They were using these guys like South Park. Operation Get Behind the Darkie, I guess.
Yeah.
They do know that's not cool at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is we've dealt with this for years, and obviously Iran has not been an ally or even tried to be an ally of the United States, nor have they been an ally towards Israel or the UK for that matter, or anybody else outside of the Middle East, aside from some of the other communist nations actually out there. They kind of fed into them a little bit. But for the most part, they've not been friends of ours, and probably will never be. And it's because of stuff like this, because they're backing the Taliban now.
Right.
They're like, well, Taliban took over Afghanistan, but we don't have to worry about that, right? Not a big deal. And we have a message. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sean. This is why we don't trust them, okay? I didn't want to bring up the the Iran linked deaths and stuff like that because I knew it was going to take a while.
Mm-hmm.
But Iran, this is from the Military Times, courtesy of listener Sean. Iran linked to deaths of 500 U.S. troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. And it goes on to read, it says, at least 500 U.S. military deaths in Iraq and Afghanistan were directly linked to Iran and its support for anti-American militants. Ooh, yeah, that was good. Newly discovered statistic that offers grim context for the Obama administration's diplomatic deal with the Iranian regime aimed at curtailing the rogue nation's nuclear ambitions. So this is a lot of the stuff that we already knew. I believe we talked about this before. I don't know what the date of this was. The date that this article would come out. Yeah, this is from 2015. Yeah, we already went through this, but let's go ahead and rehash it since Sean was gracious enough to send it to us. Many of those estimated 500 deaths occurred during the so-called surge in Iraq, when President Bush ordered an influx of tens of thousands of troops to confront what had devolved into a sectarian civil war. Yeah, that's why you don't go into war for hearts and minds. You go into war to kick ass.
Right.
They found Iran manufactured and supplied to Shiite militias across the border in Iraq. Many were powerful enough to destroy U.S. Humvees and breach tank hulls. So they were arming, obviously, the enemy, and we were getting shot at because of it. But that's pretty much what. I'm glad that Sean brought that up, though. And yeah, Sean, they did make those bombs and bombs devices more lethal. But yeah, that's. I didn't want to really get into that. I mean, I know that the last article is from 2015, but still, it's obviously 100% relevant, especially as to what we were just talking about.
Right.
I think they had a more proactive role in it than we think, though. Than we realize. I believe that they had a more proactive role in the deaths of our
And I bet as time goes on, more of that'll come out. I mean, Iran's what is the IRGC, which is Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, if I remember right. They used Afghans as, you used the term, cannon fodder on the front lines against Syrian rebels.
So you don't want to use the South Park analogy?
No. I figured I'd put another one in there.
But they really did. I mean, they basically put these guys out here and said, here, you go this way. We follow, and we don't follow.
Yeah.
We send them that way and get them targeted, and we go around, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a human shield. Kind of like, remember when Saddam Hussein did that? When a bunch of people were trying to protest the war? The first one?
Yes.
And
yes.
they went to the palace to meet with Saddam, and he lined them all up in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They weren't very happy to be used as human shields. Well, we know, and this again ties back to the Obama administration, because Obama really tried to work with Iran. In fact, this is the one thing that I always wondered, and I still do, and I know we've talked about it at great length, but I gotta fucking bring it up. How do you allow an entity that is known as a state-sponsored terror not only get a nuclear reactor, but let them police themselves to make sure that themselves aren't making nuclear weapons? How exactly does that work out?
I know we've tried to sit and think about that, and it's like, that don't make any sense. That's like allowing giving a 5-year-old a bucket of candy and telling them they can only have a little bit, each day, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, you're letting them
Take care of themselves.
Take care of themselves with it, you know.
Yeah.
Surprise, motherfucker.
They don't care about policing themselves because if you remember right, the UN tried to send inspectors in there.
Mm-hmm. You shut them down.
Yeah, they said no, you ain't coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, what? We're supposed to check it on you. No, we were told by the Obama administration to police ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was a lot of things that were squashed back then as well, and that were looked off to the side, which was a lot of the times when we had these ideas that Iran was possibly doing these things, that they were possibly helping the Taliban, and that they were crossing the borders and dropping off weapons and stuff like that, and sending money to them and funding them, but. That never really came out, did it?
No.
No, I tried squashing it. Oh, you guys are crazy. There's no reason to think that. That's a conspiracy theory. And then we find out later on, no, it's true. Kind of like, when they said there was no weapons of mass destruction. And then we found out that, they all got moved to Syria.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know that, We didn't find out, eventually. But what does everybody else think? Listener Sean, Mr. Eric, Mark, and the multitude of other people who are listening right now, just the ones that are popping on the screen, and I see names as the ones we can respond to. So, if you want to talk to us, we do have chat rooms. But what do you guys think? Do you honestly believe that? Well, do you really think that the Iranians have good intentions, or are they just funding terror to keep it going? That's a legitimate question. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know what you guys think, though. I already know how I think. I already know how this man thinks because we've already talked about this. But I want to know how you think. And listener Eric, energy is how a weapon is used. So yeah, more energy would make it more lethal.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, we don't need to thank North Koreans. Or we're not talking about North Koreans at the moment. And Sean's got a point. You got Sean up on your screen?
No, let me pull it up.
Fine, we'll just wait on you again.
Okay.
This is terrible.
Me. No, I totally forgot about pulling it up. Oh. Okay. I got to make sure my volume was down. Yeah. Okay, I see what he's saying.
Yeah, what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Well, kind of read what he's saying, though.
He says, I think we keep tight sanctions on them still. They have been a long time agitator in the area. I would say I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah, they have been. Either way, I believe that this is a bad deal, and they're nothing but a bunch of rabble-rousers who are trying to keep the fucking shit stirred up as much as they can, basically to agitate the U.S. And its allies, which we found out who our true allies are when Trump took office.
Right.
I can't stop yawning. Why? I also can't apparently push the correct buttons on my phone so I could do something here. Doobie-doobie-doo. Aha. All right, well, I say we take a shot. We've been sitting here staring at this stuff for a while.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. So, yeah, to not trusting Iran, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Oh, man, that was a rough one, actually. That's the first time you'll see me taking a chaser. Man, that one hit hard. Yeah, before we go to break, yeah, Eric, I can agree with that. We do, in fact, keep going with the same policy with all these countries and keep getting the same outcome. Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much the definition of complete insanity. But, you know, it is what it is. That's why we got a new guy in office, so that way we could stop this bullish. But anyhow, you know, we're gonna actually go to a break. We will be playing a commercial from one of our sponsors, but first I got to mention the sponsor. Actually, I got to say thanks to Forever Yours Tattoo Studio here in Taylorville, Ricky Johnson, for doing some awesome work on my arm again. And if you haven't been on the radio show page or on Weaponized Sloth Productions, you have not seen this thing, which is fucking awesome, isn't it? I don't want to show the actual tattoo right now. I'm showing the photo of the tattoo because the tattoo is healing.
Right.
So there's no point in showing you that right now. It's healing quite well, actually. But I got to show it to you if you can see it because the lights. Hold on, get closer.
There we go. Isn't that a beaut?
Isn't that badass? That is the Weaponized Sloth. I have the Weaponized Sloth from Weaponized Sloth Productions now on my arm. Matt keeps stealing my cable. Stop it. But, you know, that being said, I guess we should go to break. And, yeah, we'll be right back. Too many buttons. Let's try this. Here we go. Yep. Hey, look at that.
Into the world war, 70s, a breath after the war. That was confusing because of my age. Should my eyes open for tomorrow's game?
If it's that time again to indulge yourself with some new ink, or maybe a body piercing, then Forever Yours Tattoo Studio is the place for you. With 27 years experience in tattoos and body piercing, artist Ricky Johnson has you covered, pun intended. Freehand or custom drawn art, maybe some permanent cosmetics, repair of the half-done or faded work you got years ago. Or maybe you need a cover-up on that nasty scratcher ink you got in a dusty old basement with a sewing needle. Ricky will take care of you. Forever Yours is located at 209 West Main Cross Street in Taylorville. Stop on in or give them a call at 217-824-2INK. They are open Wednesday through Saturday, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. They are also open 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. every other Tuesday. Forever Yours is a health board certified business using modern sterilizing equipment. Tell them the two nutballs on the Machine Radio Show sent you.
Thank you very much, the FCC, for proving that free speech just isn't free.
Yeah, we had to get a big shout out. Hello, I can hear now. We had to get a big shout out to the FCC and how we don't give a fuck about them. They take all the fun out of everything. Well, President Trump flew to Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And he met with troops.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And CNN has a meltdown. You can't make this up. They actually did. They threw a fit and said that some of these soldiers and Marines and stuff like that are there, they should be brought up on some sort of military charges because they had the president sign a mega hat. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Well, tell me more.
Well, I'm wondering what the meltdown was actually about. Was it the fact that he was signing the hats, or the fact that our military men and women had some of these hats?
Well, it could be both. It could be both, though. But go ahead.
I like how CNN analyst and former member of the Obama administration, John Kirby, warned the troops that having a Trump campaign hat could be breaking military guidelines.
Kind of. He might actually be right about that in a certain aspect. At the same time, that who gives a fuck?
But he said it is, in fact, a campaign slogan that is a campaign item, and it is completely inappropriate for the troops to do this.
It is no longer a campaign item.
Right.
Because he's now president.
Right.
So he'd be wrong there.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Let's see. It's just not appropriate in front of a military audience.
Stop whining.
Was this retired Lieutenant General Mark Hertling said on CNN Thursday morning. So that's funny because I'm seeing some of these pictures and these guys have their hats, as they're standing in line. I think it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So what exactly the problem is here? I'm wondering.
Let's see. Well, this retired lieutenant general also said that President Trump signing these hats during his trip to troops in Iraq was, quote, over the top.
Why is getting the man's signature over the top?
Well, I mean, he signed soldiers' arm patches, and some of them read Trump 2020. They're asking for his signature, so I mean, it's their commander in chief.
Yeah, again, what seems to be the issue here?
I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, see if they Sean found the loophole, man. The new slogan for 2020 is "Keep America Great."
Absolutely.
So there we go. Just saying. But these, they brought their own hats. You can tell some of them actually look like they've been worn very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've been worn pretty good. And again, like you said, it's their commander in chief. Why not have the signature? I mean, we didn't throw a fit when fucking Obama tried to pull that shit.
Right.
And of course, CNN didn't, because CNN didn't care. CNN was tonguing Obama's butthole and didn't quite care, about what he did. I mean, remember, this is the same news agency that tried to make a big to-do about Trump ordering a Diet Coke. He asked for a Diet Coke during a meeting, and that was actually news.
Well, they're kind of accusing Trump of purchasing all these hats for the troops because they're saying that the troops in Iraq aren't buying and shipping hats to themselves 6,000 miles away. How do you know?
What if they already had them?
Yeah, they more likely already had them. Or when he did get into office, maybe they went and bought some.
Right. Well, and apparently you had a former Navy JAG officer. Because I can tell you that engaging in partisan political activities such as flying a Trump flag or wearing a MAGA hat while in uniform is a violation of the Uniform Code of Military Justice and its implementing regs, wrote Pam Keith, a Democratic candidate for Congress. Not surprised.
Yeah.
In aspect, there's a gray area there, though. I mean, technically speaking, you're not supposed to show your party affiliation when you're in uniform, because you're supposed to be, kind of often. You're just supposed to do what you're fucking supposed to do, and that's it. How's that? It's supposed to be kind of partisan, but again, we keep going back to the fact that this is their commander in chief, and they just wanted his fucking signature, and they got it, and on their own stuff. So what's the deal?
So that's kind of what I was wondering. Okay, I can understand what you're saying, like during election time. No, he's already in office.
Well, and Eric has a point too. It's only if they are on duty and operating in an official capacity. So if there was an MP in that room who was doing his official job and walked up to the president and asked for an autograph on his mega hat, that's a different situation altogether. But these guys were either in a chow hall or whatever, and we're just there for the meeting. So what's the problem? Again, I'm going to ask that.
Probably because they don't want our military backing their president, their commander in chief.
Eric said he got a Rumsfeld autograph back in the day.
Nice.
Pictures or didn't happen. just letting you know, Eric. Pictures or didn't happen, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's part of the left. CNN. They're wanting something to bitch about. Anything that they can. That's what it all boils down to. That's like this, was it Jennifer Epstein?
Yeah.
She posted a picture of one of the troops holding a Trump flag, and she said that, Trump flag, she dropped it after she saw me take a photo. And I'm probably pretty sure she didn't drop it.
Did you read Sean's?
I got to flip back real quick.
Dude, there's so many of them flooding through on different chats that, we're trying to keep up. But Sean, yeah. Dude, you got to read Sean's. That's good. That's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can read that out loud.
Yeah, listener Sean says, goodness, quoting fucking army refs as if they know their ass from a sunflower. Give me a break. It's a photo op. The media got caught with a fake story already in its shoot. Those trips require a month's notice to plan, and that is exactly right. It's not like spur of the moment, hey, I'm going to go fly here right now and visit these troops. No, they plan all that stuff.
But it's supposed to be a surprise. You know, that's what they said, though. It's a surprise. He shouldn't be there. Either way, the fact that you were pissed off that some of our military members decided to get a signature from their commander-in-chief on their own personal items is kind of, I don't know, retarded.
I really want to see pictures of these leftists recoiling in horror.
Yeah,
I want to see pictures of that.
We want to see the snowflakes melting. Does anybody have photos of this? Seriously, this would be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, this would be like one of the most entertaining photos of all time. Kind of like the scream heard around the world from that creepy thing that I don't know if it's a guy or a woman.
Yeah, wasn't that when Trump
was inaugurated? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's still like one of the greatest things ever.
And memes still fly of that picture.
Oh yeah, that's one of the best ones ever. But all right, I guess we will take another break and get trying to look for the next one because that's really all we had on that one, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, there wasn't much there. All right, we'll be right back.
This is Waylon from A Killer's Confession, so pay attention. You're listening to Brandon and Matt on the Machine Radio Show.
Too late!
lefties, liberals, and progressives. This is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no. This old boy's wow. We about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm going to need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do. And we have returned, and apparently got some more bad news. More bad news. This is what Illinois needs more of. Bad news. Yep. Yeah. What does that say?
On top of like everything else that's coming from Mayor Quimby.
Yeah. Blago Jr.
Durbin hints he may run for 5th term, and I'm willing to bet that's probably going to be unopposed.
Yeah, because nobody would want to clean up after this asshat's fucking job.
Mm-hmm.
5th term. Well, he hasn't really made his formal announcement yet, though, has he?
No, not yet.
No. But he did drop the hint that he may run for re-election in 2020. Apparently, he was talking to Chuck Todd on Meet the Press about it, though.
I'm kind of curious. Can we start a petition to stop him? If we get enough signatures.
He says that he's this is the funny part. He says he's raising money and trying to lose weight.
What's that got to do with him running again?
Well, if he's too fat, he ain't running. That's the problem. Yeah, there we go.
Spending too much time in Flavortown.
Yeah. But just to rehash, this guy, anybody, any time that something good comes down the pike that may actually help you, he's one of the ones that votes against it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's detrimental to you, he loves it. That goes for the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, pretty much the entire Constitution. I mean, he does not really fucking care. He does not like you. He does not like us. You are nothing but a subject to him, not a constituent. Him and like you said, Mayor Quimby, Blago Jr. and Tammy Duckworth, or whatever her name is, during the tornado came down for their photo ops. We talked about that, and that's pretty much all he did. Is just photo ops, and then we're out of here. But having had actual contact with this man, I can tell you right now, one, he really does not care about you. He does not want to listen to what you have to say. If he doesn't like what you have to say, especially if you get a one-up on him, he will walk away from you. He has done that. And hopefully he learned a painful lesson from doing so. Because, I used his first name really well. I mean, his first name is Dick, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But they said it's the way I said it that's the problem. Because I didn't say Dick, I said Dick. Apparently you're not supposed to say it that way. And you're not supposed to call him Richard Cranium. Apparently that hurts feelings.
Mm. Thought Cranium was his middle name.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yep, Richard Cranium Durbin.
Mm-hmm.
There was Dickhead Durbin. I don't care. Everybody complains about how I talk about that guy, but it's true though. This is absolutely true.
You're like an onion, an outer layer of cocksucker, and when you peel it away, there is 10 more layers of cocksucker underneath.
And you're welcome.
I mean, he's one of the numerous assholes that gets reelected back into office here in Illinois and causes more problems, and that is why the state is in the world of crap that it's in right now. And that's why people are leaving the state by the droves.
But Matt, he's a U.S. senator, he's not a state senator, and it doesn't make a fucking difference. He's from Illinois, and he's supposed to be representing us. So yes, it is a problem.
He's a problem.
Somebody else sent us something. I'm trying to bring it up.
He needs to be rotated out.
The Herald and Review. What did you bring up on the Herald and Review? Don't care. Oh, no, I know what I already got. Police seeking man who fled traffic stop crashed into Decatur median. Yeah, well, that's Decatur for you. I know what story he's trying to post on there, but I'm probably not going to bring that up right as of now because I really don't want to get into it. So, what do we got? A whole lot of nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. And where the hell are the rest of my notes? Oh, the shutdown. Let's talk about the shutdown.
Okay.
President Trump has basically shut down the government because they refused to fund the border wall.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I admit we have admitted before that he said that Mexico would pay for it. Well, that's not working out as planned. But at the same time, they said that what it would cost is, let's say, $120 per household to build the border wall and to up the security, not just the border wall, up the security as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I send the check?
Oh, there is a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, it's up to almost $20 million, rather, isn't it, at this moment? I'm pretty sure it is. It's way the hell up there. And actually, the one guy that's holding up the show isn't Trump. Trump said he would take responsibility for it.
Mm-hmm.
But the one man who's actually holding up the show, so to speak, is Chuck Schumer. You know, one of the creepiest looking guys I've ever seen. And Sean has... Yeah. Aren't we all, Sean? We're all curious about what the next move Mr. Trump is going to do on this. But right as of now, he is shutting down the government until he gets his funding. I mean, they will pay how much? What was it? How many billions of dollars do we pay for illegals in this country a year? You remember? It was in the hundreds of billions, wasn't it?
I think it was up there.
So what's the problem with just a few bill for security? And it's a waste of money because the border really won't do anything. They'll climb over it, they'll tunnel under it. And I was like, no, because you're thinking just the physical wall. You're not thinking about what else they're going to put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, is seismic sensors and infrared camera systems and more patrol, which is desperately needed. But the wall itself, I hate to tell you this, guys, but do you think it's just going to sit on the fucking ground? And do you think it's not going to have some sort of way to where they can stop you from getting over it? Just wondering. And then there's other GoFundMes going out there. There's other GoFundMes. Well, we're going to fund the tunnels. Great, let the drug cartels in. This is amazing.
Or buying ladders so they can get over the wall, which is hilarious because if you compare what they're raising to what Build the Wall one is, it's just pocket change that they've got. You know, they're still like in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, where the GoFundMe for the wall is in the billions.
Yeah, it's up to almost $20 million.
Right.
And the GoFundMe for the border wall is largely funded by, well, all of us.
Yeah, the citizens.
Yeah, there's not there's a couple big donors on there, just a couple, but for the 99.9% of the majority of the funds that are coming in are $10, $20, $50, $100. How many people do you think it takes to add up to that kind of money?
Hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah. So them saying that nobody wants the border wall is full of shit. It's that the Democrats don't want the border wall because then, well, their cheap labor and their votes go away.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been the gain. And you can look up the history on this if you want, especially when it comes to laws with illegal immigration and stuff like that. That the Democrats inherently want them here because they are basically importing voters, and that's why you see the shift to where a lot of your races are either they're becoming very, very tight, or as you mentioned earlier, running unopposed. They're desperate to try and make basically a one-party system. They do not want anybody else in office but themselves. And that is why they really like the illegal aliens. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
I don't think I'm far off base either.
Mm-mm.
And let me remind you people that it's not racist because not all illegal aliens come from Mexico. Just so you know, they're not all Mexican, they're all Hispanic. In fact, there is a big majority of other countries here.
Yep.
So you would definitely be wrong. And you can check the statistics on that. They don't lie, especially when it comes to legal entries. But if you look at the span of the illegal ones, when where most of these people are coming from, and they've caught people from all walks of life down at that border trying to sneak over. Like I said, not just Hispanics.
Right.
Countries have borders, people. Everybody has borders. Why should we be any different?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why they, bypass several countries to get here. Free shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Free shit. Nothing else. Do you think they're really here? I'm going to say it this way, and I'm going to make my own percentage here. I'm going to say probably about 97%. 97% of them that come here are not here for a better, to make a better life and to work hard and be productive in society. They're just here for the free shit. The legal ones, on the other hand, the legal ones that are here, they went through the paces. They did whatever they could. They did everything right, and basically they're being punished by the ones that are here illegally. Am I wrong?
Mm.
I mean, that's just how I feel about it. And, if you want to figure it out, look up the statistics for yourself. Look up the information. It is out there. And don't come at me with some MSNBC, CNN fucking article and be like, see, I told you. No, that's not. I'm just going to laugh at you and not even fucking respond.
Well, even our border security wants the wall. They also want more bodies to do their job. I mean, I look at it, the wall is a vital piece of equipment that they need. It helps them do their job.
Yeah. Yeah, no arguments on that. Well, how about this? This shot. This is to the triple amputee that made the fundraiser. Thank you for trying to put us up a border. Wow. Does that have an extra bite tonight or what?
It does. It has an extra bite.
Oh, Oklahoma. I don't know how. A lot of people that I've talked to about this too, including people from the that are on the left, a lot of them are supporting this. A lot of them are like, well, fantastic. You know, instead of taking taxpayers' money and basically funneling money from people who really don't want it, there's people who really do want it that are actually funding it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they're throwing a fit. And then the fucking news media and stuff like that, they're throwing a fit about this. So they should issue all these refunds and we should stop this. Why? It just shows that people actually care enough to strengthen our borders and to, you know, and they're doing it themselves. There's no question about that. I don't understand why you would have an issue with it.
Well, like you said before, it'll stop their votes from coming in. I mean, they're already right now. I had seen the Dems are trying to find a way to pass legislation to stop the federal government from accepting the money because they're worried that enough of it's going to be raised to fund it. And then they won't, you know, he won't have to turn to the government. It was like, well, hey, this money's been donated for this cause.
Right. Wouldn't that be a tax-free donation courtesy of the people?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because I don't even think GoFundMe's even taking their money out of this one, are they?
I don't think they are.
I think they left it alone. Which is interesting because they're pains in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Good times to be had by all, I guess.
Yep. I mean, they are. The Dems are scared. They know, you know, the people are...
What?
Sean's respawn. Dude, jobs.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we've heard that before. They do other jobs you don't want to do. No, not really.
Well, you know, I was going to bring this point out too. You know, you coming over here, and you're given all of this free stuff. Why would you want to even work? You're given it's handed to you for free.
Right.
You know,
what's the point?
Yeah, there is none. You can just stay here and just live off of it.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I could do that.
I wish I could too.
Yeah. I'd like to sit at home in my fudgies and play Grand Theft Auto all day. Meanwhile, getting a check for doing absolutely nothing, but it doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
No. We got to go to work. We got to work our asses off. Oh, right. Yeah, I think we should take a break on that note. Yeah?
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. This is Brandon from the Machine Radio Show. If you are anything like me, then you love having plenty of horsepower to play around with. That is why I recommend visiting NCP Speed Machine in Taylorville. NCP offers many services such as performance engine builds, automotive machining, specialty car repair, performance parts, and dyno services. If you want a great reliable stock rebuild, or enough horsepower to make your pants tight and your face crack with a smile, then NCP Speed Machine is your place to go. You can give them a call at 217-825-8249 or stop in and say hello. NCP is located at 110 North Webster Street in Taylorville, Illinois. Tell them Brandon from the Machine Radio Show sent you.
What you listening to?
The Machine Radio Show.
What did you say? I didn't stutter. I said
The Machine Radio Show.
You just blew my mind.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the show. And we are back, and we have some interesting news, actually, we just accidentally came across.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell them what that is?
Well, apparently, according to some researchers at University of California's Irvine Institute for Memory Impairments and Neurological Disorders, the secret to living an ultra-long and prosperous life, in other words, making it past your 90th birthday, can be contributed to drinking both alcohol and coffee.
Why did you look at me when you said neurological? I swear, I'm perfectly
Neurological.
stable. So what are you trying to say here? You're saying the fact that I drink, like a gallon of coffee in the morning and plenty of whiskey and rum that I should live forever?
Mm-hmm. We're going to be immortal.
Is it going to be like Mystery Science Theater?
It could be.
Sweet. That's awesome. We're going to be floating fucking heads in a jar. This is amazing. But go ahead. Tell me more. I must know more.
The researchers are saying that people who drank moderate amounts of alcohol or coffee lived longer than those who abstained. And that people who were overweight in their 70s lived longer than normal or underweight people did, which that's understandable because when you get up in age, you don't eat as much. So,
Speak for yourself.
the normal and underweight people, you basically just start wasting away. So if you're already overweight, you've got some bulk.
Listener Adam chimed in. This is fun. Yep, Adam, we're going to the bar after the show, man. You want to join us? We're definitely going to go have a couple drinks for this one. In fact, we should have another shot just for that article.
And honestly, this should be great news for anybody who loves their morning cup of coffee and a beer or a cocktail. Right,
dude, I can't
work.
function without it. I have to have my coffee.
I'm the same way.
I become a complete asshole in the morning.
I get to work, and the guys are passing down information to me, and the only thing I'm doing is I'm filling up the coffee pot.
Dude, I'm like straight Sergeant Hartman in the morning if I don't fucking have my coffee.
I got to get them trained to have the coffee already made for me before I get there.
It's like, what's your major malfunction, numbnuts? I just looked at you, Brandon. Fuck off! Stop it! Moderation, yeah.
But you know. Oh, he put something else.
Adam chimed in again.
I'm bouncing back and forth here.
I know, and you're doing it on a fucking phone. I'm
Moderate
sorry.
means exactly what? Well, as far as coffee goes, I think moderate would mean, up to like maybe 3 to 4 cups. You shouldn't be drinking like 12 or 14 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah, but read the bottom one.
Which one?
The last one he wrote. Oh, we're drinking up, dude. After the shit that I've been through, I've definitely been drinking it up.
What do you think about the people who have lived throughout history? The staple for every meal was some type of alcohol. Generally it was wine.
My great-grandfather, well, I guess you'd call him step-great-grandfather, whatever you want to call him, because, my great-grandfather actually was killed during the war.
Mm-hmm.
He was a German. Both of them were Germans. Don't hold that against me. I am Deutschen. But that man smoked cigars, drank fucking beer every day, and stuff like that. That dude was way into his 90s before he passed away.
I mean, proof there too.
Yeah, the old Germans had it right, man.
Well, I mean, shit. The stuff we drink here is 94 proof. It's got to kill just about anything in your system.
Dude, that guy got thrilled to death when we went up to Canada, because they lived in Canada. They just, they went to Canada after the war to escape the Russian occupation. And when I was there, it's a 5-gallon bucket. Fuck you.
I was going to say, Adam, I totally agree.
Thanks a lot, Adam. I love you too. He saw me drinking coffee in the morning. Mind you, I was like 12 years old. I'm drinking coffee in the morning. He had a big smile on his face. Noon comes around. Dude tries to slide me a beer. My mom's like, "Don't even think about it." And I'm like, "What?" I actually, me being a wise ass that I am, even back then, I was like, "But it would be rude not to accept the beer, Mom." By the way, we used to talk about constantly like how we are not alcoholics. I think because alcoholics do in fact go to meetings. We're just drunks.
I look at it as a neat hobby because I brew my own shit.
Well, can I put myself down as a taste tester because I've hit quite a few different types of whiskey in the last few weeks. But again, not such drinking in moderation, but the fact that it's where you drink and what you do afterward.
Right.
No question. I do. We've had 2 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got, since this is not my studio, that's as far as I'm going to go. I have to drive, so I'm not going to do that. 2 shots ain't shit.
Right.
But when I'm at home, I might have a drink or 2 at night. Next morning, not a drop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink during the day, nothing like that. I just drink at night. And I do it safely. I do it in the courtesy of my own home. I don't fucking drive anywhere. I don't do anything like that. So, you should take that into account.
Mm-hmm.
People should understand that. I was like, now, if I understand if I got, flat out liquored the fuck up and decide, hey, I'm going to go to Walmart in the middle of the night, and I'm weaving through lanes and stuff like that because I'm fucking blasted.
You're in that little cart thing and you're passed out in the alcohol aisle.
And it's sitting there turning circles.
And it's going in circles.
With your hand still on the fucking gas lever. Adam, you with us on this one? Come on, Adam. I know you're still listening. Which, by the way, if anybody wants to donate some fucking whiskey to me, I'll take it. I'm more of a rum drinker myself, but dude, a buddy of mine's got a $200 bottle of the Macallan,
mm-hmm.
and it was fantastic. That was the best whiskey I'd ever had. It was the smoothest shit ever. It made Crown Royal look like fucking cough syrup. I mean, it was that.
Oh,
good.
Damn!
And Crown Royal is like one of the smoothest drinking whiskeys you'll ever have. But there's a lot of rums out there. I mean, if anybody wants to donate a $200 bottle of rum, well, we'd sure as hell take a taste test of it.
Dude, one of the new things where I get all my equipment from, they start selling barrels. You can get oak barrels and stuff now.
Really?
Yeah, and they come in different sizes. Like I can even get small 1-gallon barrel batches.
Hey Matt, since I'm completely unemployed and have no money coming in right now due to a tornado blasting my shit, can we get a still?
We might be able to, because I think that's something that where I order my stuff from. That's something that they're bringing about, because they're ordering a lot. They're bringing forth more stuff.
Version. Yeah, we need to make our own version of rum. And Adam's going to join us. Hey Adam, I know your wife does like cooking stuff, so maybe me and you can just do the booze part of the part of it. We can make her some cooking sherry or something.
Let's see.
So-
A shot for the dish, half the bottle for me.
Yeah, pretty much. So basically, the end of the show is going to be us talking about how we're going to get shit faced on something. Sean, you joining us?
Booze, you say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, booze.
Hey, hey, Adam. Hey, Adam. Just saying, dude. You and I definitely need to go have a drink together. I think we earned it after the situation. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say, I know how to make beer. I know how to make mead. I know how to make wine. This step, going into the whiskeys and stuff, wouldn't be much more difficult to learn.
Yeah, we need to make our own rum.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of what? That's a lot of what?
100%. You know what's funny about that? Is I have found a way to make wine any proof I want. I have figured out how to do it. If I want to make it 120 proof, I can do it.
Yeah.
A barrel of whiskey?
Barrel of whiskey? No, dude, that's not a lot.
Well,
that's like a night.
They sell different different size barrels. You can get a 1 gallon barrel. You know, I kind of like doing the small batches to experiment with.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a 5 gallon kit at home to make beer with, and that was from my oldest son for Father's Day a few years ago.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He sent that. He goes, hey, he sent me a message. He goes, hey, I ordered you a Father's Day gift. It'll be coming in the mail. I come home from work, and there's this huge 5 gallon kit sitting outside my door. And I'm like, hell yeah. I just got to acquire more beer bottles, which I can get them pretty cheap off the website that I go to.
Yeah, we can get charred oak barrels. Well, Adam, there is one thing I'm going to bring up. Pop's concert venue down there in Sauget, down there by St. Louis.
Yeah.
They're having a multi-band, I believe it's over 10 bands, a full day of concerts, and the money goes to Missions for Taylorville.
Well, that's cool.
Yours truly has been asked to help and to actually come down there as well. It's January 20th. So if anybody within an earshot of this radio station can get to St. Louis and come down and hang out with the Machine Radio Show, I will be there. I'm going to try and bring this man kicking and screaming, covered in someone else's blood. It's going to be a good time, and it's for a good cause. It's for us because, FEMA said, fuck you. AIMA said, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, our town is stuck holding the check. So any money that we can raise would be fantastic. So, Adam, you game?
You can do it.
I'm sure there'll be drink down there, too. I'm probably going to need a designated driver. So, Adam, could you not drink as much as I do? It's a long ride home. Any chance of that? Anybody? Sean, you want to go down there with us?
Bueller.
Some of the bands that are going to be down there are probably up more to your speed than mine. Check the calendar, Adam. January 20th. I'm going to run that down there as kind of like my birthday party as well, because my birthday is the 30th of January. What does that land on this year, anyway?
That is a Sunday. Dude, that would be rough because I have to be into work next morning.
What is it on?
January 20th is a Sunday.
Okay, but what's the 30th on?
The 30th is a Wednesday.
Oh, of course, that's been in the middle of the fucking week.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So, yeah, January 20th, Adam. Listener Sean, we are going to drag you down there as well. You can deal with it. Sean's not answering me. I think we scared him off.
Maybe we can lure him back with booze.
We could. I don't see why not. I mean, I think we could get him to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know Adam's on board. Adam's at least going to check his calendar. I mean, if I have to duct tape him and, drop sleeping pills in his drink or something, or his wife's drink, one of the two, we'll get him down there. But anyhow, that is pretty much it for tonight. So we've talked about quite a few things, mostly booze.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, just a friendly reminder, please get on YouTube and subscribe to the Machine Radio Show. Get on Facebook, subscribe to the Machine Radio Show. And, if the app is not completed yet, but we do have a radio station. And it is what, Matt?
WSPFM.live. And actually, the app is up and running because I've got it on my phone.
Oh, well, we'll have to share the app, okay? We'll have to get the app to you guys out there somewhere.
I'll see if I can pull it up and share it onto the our social media sites.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll get that all put together. So now we have a radio station, and you can listen to us on your cell phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's good times, man. But that being said, we are going to cut out of here for tonight. We definitely love having all of you aboard every single Thursday. And we'll see you again.
Yes. Come back.
And on that note, we are out of here.
Have a great week, everybody.
Someone else.
Do you understand?